Hey, little mama, would you like to be my sunshine? And no telling what I'm feeling beyond.
Hey YouTube fam, it's your girl Leah back again with another video. In today's video, as you can see from the title, it is time for a coloring of my hair. Now, it has been a while since I've colored my hair, and I've been getting a lot of questions recently on what color is my hair dye, what color do I dye my hair, do I dye it myself, who dyes my hair, all of these good questions, mainly because I just tried a human hair crochet and so many people were like, what did you use to color it? And I was like, I use the same thing I use to color my own hair. Why would I use a different box dye when I know the box dye that I use? And I have been coloring my own hair for about 3 years now. I already have told you guys, my old stylist who did my silk presses, what the prices were for the silk press alone, then add about a $250 extra for a touch up on my coloring. So when it comes to money, I will learn how to do something if I need to learn how to do something. And I think coloring, especially when I'm not going super bleach blonde or it's not something super abrasive, it's something that I've learned to do myself and I'm good at doing myself. However, Clairol has stopped making this. I reached out to Clairol because I was trying to buy it. I always buy it from Amazon or beauty supply store. Went on Amazon, couldn't find it. Then searched the internet, couldn't find it. And then I just reached out to Clairol itself because I was like, y'all, I be buying y'all color. They have a color now that is 4R. Mine is 4RC. They have a 4R. They told me all they have now is 4R. And they were like, but that's a little bit redder. And I was like, yeah, it is. I'll insert a picture right now of what that looks like. That is not my baby girl textures and tones 4RC Cherrywood. Cherrywood is a distinct cherry. And that is what I love for my hair. I don't want no red. I'm not trying to go red. Nothing against red, but I like the color of my hair. I did stock up. Like I searched high and low for miscellaneous online beauty supply stores that had it. Some only had like two. I bought two. I bought three from another. Like whatever quantity they had, I stocked up as much as I can. At home, I already had about 4 boxes because I do use about 2 to dye my own hair. I do have very thick hair, so I do need 2, even though I'm not doing a full coloration. I'm just doing my dark roots. So I do use 2. Make sure I'm covering all the spots with it as well. And then after that, making sure that my hair is deep conditioned and moisturized post that, because I do want to take care of my hair. So once I do run out of these, all the ones I bought up, I will probably have to find another color that matches me so well like this color does. But I do always dye my hair too when it's in its kind of straighter form. I feel like I have maybe a couple times when it's been curly, but it's just much easier to dye it when it's straight. So this is a 3-week-old silk press. I got my hair done 3 weeks ago. That is crazy that my silk press has lasted as long as it has. And it's also scary because I want to make sure my curls revert. I have not worn my own hair curly since summer of last year, and my hair has been straight a lot, especially I had a straight sew-in. So my leave out has been straight consistently, has not had a day off from being straight since late December of 2023. So we're in March now. So I do also want to test to see if my hair reverts back. And then I have a hair appointment this Friday to get my hair silk pressed, and I'm going to see how that looks, because she kind of was low-key reading me the other day when she was like, you letting your roots grow out? And I was like, no, I just dyed my hair in November. I didn't want to dye it again super quick. I try to only do it twice a year, so every 6 months. November isn't even 6 months ago, but my roots have been, you can see my dark hair is coming through, which means my hair is growing, which we love growth. We love growth. But if you can see, I do have some dark roots that I'm going to take care of today. So without further ado, let's put my gloves on. Let's get to mixing the colors and let's get to dyeing my hair. Since I've been doing this for years, I'm pretty much a pro at this process. The box comes with multiple items, conditioner, but really the quintessential needs are that developer and the color dye. They also provide you with gloves as well. Make sure you use those gloves, because what you're going to do is in that applicator bottle that has developer, you're going to put that hair dye in and shake it. Shake it like a Polaroid picture. Shake it for quite some time until everything is mixed together. So once everything is shaken, just start applying it to my roots specifically. Again, I'm just concentrating on the roots. Now, the packaging does give you instructions on how long to leave in if you are natural versus relaxed, but you also need to figure out what works best for your hair. My hair, I've had it in my head for all my life, and I know how stubborn it can be with taking color. I've been told by stylists how long it takes for them. They're like, dang, I'm gonna have to keep putting you under the dryer. Like, this is taking forever. My hair does take quite a bit of time to turn, even when I was relaxed. But now that I've been natural for a decade, my hair does take a little bit longer than the instructions say. So I do leave it in for about an hour before I rinse it out.
Now that love's taking over, I'm 100% sure that it's here to stay. I ain't got no issues standing in my way. I ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. So make it official. We ain't getting no younger, baby. When I'm ready to be with you, together for always. Don't have this to hold. Sickness and good health. I don't crazy, baby. Can you live with it? Loving me for life. To have it home forever. Baby, ride or die. Let's do the part. Let's make it last forever.
Once I do rinse that color out, I shampoo using the Olaplex number 4, and I deep condition using the Shea Moisture Intense Hydration Mask. I do sit under my steamer for probably about 15 minutes to allow that conditioner to penetrate, and then I wait even longer. I put a cap on and I wait even longer because deep conditioning is so crucial post coloring. Once I rinse out that conditioner, I go into my wash and go process, which you guys have seen over and over again if you watch any of my wash and go videos. So I'll just do it high level right now. All I'm doing is applying a generous amount of the mousse. I love the Mousse Def from the Dew. It is the best product for your wash and goes. The Dew in general, all their products work really good for your wash and goes. I apply a generous amount to my hair. It needs to be wet. My hair needs to be wet when I apply this mousse. I brush it, so I'm detangling it. And then I do like to shingle my hair. It just helps me out a little bit. So that's just twisting the hair around my finger and then continuing that process all throughout my head.
Girl, you must be forgetting your man's long. Most tuxes, I had trouble getting the pants on. And I know things run through your head when your man's on. I come home, how you say, better than Cameron. You upsetting they plans on, getting they chance on, getting they hands on.
Baby, tell me you live with it, live with it. For life, home forever. Yeah, baby, ride or die. We'll just do the part. Make it last forever. Tell me you live with it, you live with it. Me for life, the wife and kids. Have it home forever. Future.
And I am an air dryer, so once I'm done, I do allow my hair to air dry, meaning I do not use a blow dryer, a hand dryer, or any of that. I let my hair dry naturally, which is much easier in the warmer months, which is why I reserve my wash and goes for the spring and summer. So this is day 1 or day 2 really, because yesterday was day 1. Today I actually have places to be, people to see, so I did my makeup. So this is day 2, and let me lean in so you can see how the color took. The color always takes beautifully. I love it. What I'm more happy about is the fact that my curls did not abandon me. They said, girl, it's okay. You done had your silk presses, but we will still continue to march on for you. We will still continue to hold you down. You are not going to lose the definition on your curls for just a couple of silk presses. As I mentioned, this is day 2. I will, if I can, insert clips of day 3, 4, 5, all the way up until my silk press. And then maybe I'll show you what it looks like when I have a fresh silk press. You can kind of tell the difference between my silk press with a little bit of my hair grown out versus my silk press with, a fresh color dye. And we love the fresh color dye because, again, I'm not paying these stylists to dye my hair. When y'all come down reasonably on the prices, I can, but box dye is $8. You know, it cost me a little bit more for these last 2 packs because I had to buy the last of the last. So shipping really got me, but it's still less than the 100, 150 y'all be tacking on to these silk press prices. I'm gonna do it at home every single time. I'm gonna do it every single time at home, and I'm gonna get it right every single time. But you guys let me know down below, what do you think of this process? Is it simple enough? I probably will do some battle of the wash and goes this summer, as I normally do, where that's where I battle 2 wash and go products. I love the Dew. The Dew is my ride or die. That's what I fall back on. But are there other wash and go products I should be using? I find that out. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of that coming up this summer. Make sure that you're following me on Instagram at Lia Lavon 89 to keep up with my shenanigans in real time. TikTok at Lia Lavon. Been a little bit more real time, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.